Maya never imagined her life would change overnight. One moment, she was a regular 19-year-old struggling to make ends meet, and the next, she was being handed over to a stranger like an object for sale. It all started when her aunt, Clara, who had raised her since childhood, sat her down one evening. Clara had always been strict, but that day, there was something different in her eyes, something Maya couldn't quite understand. "You know I've taken care of you since your mother passed," Clara said, her tone unnervingly sweet. "And times have been hard. But I found a way to solve all our problems." Maya frowned. "What do you mean?" Clara's lips curved into a forced smile. "You're going to marry Mr. Hartmann. He's a billionaire. This is the best thing that could happen to you." Maya's heart pounded. "Marry," she echoed. "I don't even know him." "You don't have to," Clara snapped, the fake warmth in her voice gone. "He wants a wife, and I made the arrangement. In return, we'll never have to struggle again." Maya felt like the floor had disappeared beneath her. "You sold me." Her voice was barely above a whisper. Clara sighed as if tired of her resistance. "Think of it as an opportunity. You'll live in a mansion, have everything you want. Besides, he's handsome and powerful. Any girl would kill for this chance." Maya stood, her chair scraping against the floor. "I won't do it." Clara's face darkened. "You don't have a choice, Maya. It's done." And just like that, Maya was thrown into a world she never wanted. The mansion was cold. It wasn't the temperature, it was the atmosphere. Everything was made of glass and marble, expensive and lifeless. Maya sat stiffly in the oversized living room, waiting. Then, the man entered. Sebastian Hartmann. He was taller than she expected, dressed in an all-black suit that made him look even more intimidating. His presence was heavy, and when he looked at her, it felt like he was reading every thought in her head. "You don't have to be afraid," he said, his voice deep and smooth. Maya lifted her chin. "I'm not afraid. I just don't belong here." He studied her for a moment before sitting across from her. "Clara said you were stubborn. I see she wasn't lying." Maya clenched her fists. "You paid for me, didn't you?" A shadow passed over his face. "I made a deal, yes. But I didn't expect you to be like this." "Like what?" she challenged. His lips curled into something close to a smirk. "Fierce." Maya hated how her heart skipped at that. "I don't care if you're rich. I won't be your puppet." Sebastian leaned back. "Good. Because I don't need a puppet. I need a wife in name only. Nothing more." Maya frowned. "What?" "This isn't about love or romance," he explained. "I need a wife for business reasons. You stay here, attend a few public events with me, and in return, you'll be taken care of. In a year, we part ways." Maya's stomach twisted. It still felt wrong, but at least he wasn't expecting her to play a real wife. "Do I get a choice?" she asked bitterly. Sebastian's jaw tightened. "Not really." Maya swallowed hard. She was trapped. Days passed, then weeks. Maya learned that Sebastian wasn't as cruel as she'd thought. He was distant, cold even, but he never forced her into anything. If anything, he seemed lost. One evening, she found him in the study, staring at an old photograph. "Who's that?" she asked. He looked up, surprised to see her there. "My mother." His voice was softer than usual. "She married my father in an arrangement, just like this one. But unlike us, she wasn't given a choice at all." Maya hesitated. Did she ever love him? Sebastian let out a humorless chuckle. "No. She spent her life trapped in a golden cage. And I swore I'd never do that to anyone." Maya's chest ached at his words. Maybe they weren't so different after all. Months went by, and the lines between their forced arrangement blurred. The more Maya got to know Sebastian, the more she saw past his walls. And he, in turn, seemed to see her in a way no one else ever had. One night, during a charity event, a reporter asked them, "Mr. Hartmann, is it true you married for love?" Sebastian didn't hesitate. He looked at Maya, something unreadable in his eyes, and said, "Yes." Maya's breath caught. That night, back at the mansion, she confronted him. "Why did you say that?" He stepped closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "Because somewhere along the way, it became true." Maya's heart pounded. She should hate him for taking her freedom. But somehow she didn't. She had been sold to a billionaire. But maybe, just maybe, she had found something real in the process.